My favorite song.
Hey guys, what can you tell about a person if they were born in September?
What?
Well, it's pretty safe to assume that their parents started the year with a bang.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast, dude.
Welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast, and thank you, Tommy Chung. We're not as baked as you, but we're here to have a good time. It's Christmas season, and we know because Craig has on his gay apparel. Fa la la la.
His gay apparel.
All my apparel is gay.
Oh my God, we're starting to show off with a gay apparel joke. Okay.
That wasn't a joke.
Remember, Santa Claus is coming to town, and that's the only place he's coming. All right, stop it, will you?
All my pants have that little thing where you unbutton them, so that I don't know, what do you call that? The little,
Well, your pants are like hospital clothes; they're all open in the back, ready to go.
Yeah. Even though I hate
before
that.
we go any further, let me introduce these maniacs to you. We got Mike Creef.
Hey, let me tell you a little story, you little bastard, you.
Story?
I think I had too much coffee this morning.
What? Hey, everybody.
And I'm the amazing Ferrantino.
The amazing.
Well, today I'm Farnsworth. I want to be referred to as, it's a festive holiday name, Farnsworth.
Well, we're taping this on the 43rd anniversary of Star Trek: The Motion Picture debuting. So I'm V'ger. V'ger is that which program means.
John, did you know it's the 43rd anniversary of V'ger?
Of Star Trek, yeah, John's a big Star Trek fan.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 4 people that might give a shit about that.
What are you talking about? I know millions of people.
Yeah, millions of people, but they're like in a cult. It's like,
cult?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
It's like, it's stupidity, like Trump cult.
No, it's not.
Oh, I'd rather have coffee with a fucking Trekkie than a Trumper, but
yeah. Yeah.
They both don't.
Dude, it's a franchise that's been going strong now for 57 years.
Yeah, because the nerds just keep getting older.
That's it.
I'll tell you,
the nerds die, it's over.
I'll tell you the truth. I think half the people go to those conventions because they know that the chicks dress up in those sexy little outfits and they're easy. You know, nerd. You get a nerd go because the nerd goes because he thinks he's going to see boobs. The only place he's going to see boobs.
The kind of nerds that go to a Star Trek convention are too afraid to talk to girls.
Have you ever seen the insult dog? What is it?
Oh, Triumph. The
Triumph when he goes to the Star Wars convention.
I love that.
And he says to the woman she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And you
got to use his voice, John.
What?
You got to use the dog's voice if you tell him.
You got to use it.
He goes, oh.
For me to
I
poop
forget
on.
the voice. I haven't heard in a while. He goes, oh, I kid. He says to her, he goes, so I see you're pregnant. That's a Mexican. Anyway, he tells her that she's pregnant. And he goes, are you giving birth to another little nerd? And she goes, yes. And she tells the date, he goes, it'll be the last time he ever sees female genitalia.
I love when he walked up to Darth Vader and he's looking at his chest thing. He goes, which one of these buttons do you press to have your daddy come pick you up?
Yeah, he goes like this. He explains it to him. He goes, this is my breathing apparatus. This is my star changer.
Right.
He goes, which one do you push to have your mother pick you up when the convention's over? He walks by that one guy. He goes, have you ever spoken to a woman without leaving your credit card number?
He goes, here's a trivia question for you. He goes, how fast did Han Solo do the Kessel run? And they go, like 4 parsecs. He goes, no, the answer is who gives a shit?
That's really
anyway, I'm sorry I started down this.
I said V'ger.
Then they had the Star Trek wedding.
Trek.
No, they had
Star Trek.
It wasn't Star Trek. It was
Star Wars.
They had the Star Wars wedding. He goes, here is a little ceremonial thing they do of crossing the plastic swords.
Oh man,
I like Star Wars. I'm entertained by some of the movies and TV shows, but I am not a fanatic about that.
Hey,
Why don't you move to where I
suck.
live, man?
There's
This
only
is
one.
Star Wars every night. This is 2 nights in a row we had.
Well, come where I live. There's a lot of crackheads where I live. You'll see Star Wars every night too. They're out there fighting and Star Warring and all that shit.
But I see. I'm in Southern California. Okay, I'm in Los Angeles. I see sword fights all the time, but it's two homeless guys with their penises. But still,
Yeah. Oh,
But it
so
never
John,
rains in Southern California.
yeah, but it pours.
never rains
Yeah.
in Southern California.
I want to be where you are, man. Freaking, what is it? 80 degrees out you by you today?
No, actually, this morning it was when I got up to walk the dog.
Yeah.
It was
is that a euphemism?
47 degrees.
No
And I
way.
went
What?
to watch 47 degrees. Then I went to watch my grandson 2 hours later, and it was 70.
Wow.
Now
To
it's-
answer your question, Craig, yes, when he gets up in the morning to
Walk the dog.
his code for trying to take a pee. When you're that age, it takes fucking 10 minutes just to pee.
Look, I'm 63. I kind of relate, though.
You got a point.
I don't know. I'm like the old joke, it's like freaking 7 o'clock in the morning, I take a good pee. 7:15, I take a nice dump. I just can't wish I get out of bed before 9 o'clock.
Joke. That's a good joke.
Yeah. So John, I hear you're going surfing soon.
Hopefully, yeah. So this is
Mike with the segue.
This is a big thing in Florida, in Cocoa Beach, since Cocoa Beach is the surfing capital of the East Coast.
It's also where Major Nelson lived.
We also have a thing
Yes.
every year called Surfing Santas. And it's on December 24th in the morning. And there's a big company called Grind for Life, which is they do sort of charity work for homeless people and stuff. But
Right.
what they do is they have a free breakfast on the beach for anybody who's there, and you can just donate some money.
Nice.
And then in the past, probably every year we go for the Guinness Book of World Records.
Right.
And probably anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000 people show up on the beach.
And what kind of world
that
record?
little beach you and I were on, which
Yes,
is
very
that
cute.
one.
Yeah, very nice.
12,000 people show up on the beach.
Wow.
And then they have a stage, and they have hula dancers, and they have ukulele players.
But what's this thing,
and
Surfing
then
Santa?
all of a sudden, they go, all Surfing Santas gather on the beach. And we all dressed like Santa Claus with our surfboards, and we all paddle out. And we
You know how
surf.
that started, right? Because even a shark
Yes,
won't eat
I'll tell you how it
shark
started.
won't even eat a fucking guy in a Santa
I'll tell you how
suit.
it started. It's a pretty interesting story. There was a guy that lived at the beach,
Right.
and he was a father, and he had 2 sons. So one Christmas, they decided on Christmas morning he was going to go out and surf in a Santa outfit, and the 2 kids dressed like elves. And somebody from the newspaper took a picture, or somebody sent the picture to the newspaper, and it was like Surfing Santas.
Right.
So the next year, he went to go out the same morning, and there was 72 Santas in the water with him.
Wow.
It just built over the years. So I think last year we had 920 Santas in the water.
Wow. 920 men and women, I guess.
Or as the
Yeah.
sharks called it, a buffet.
Yeah.
And
Sushi. What do you call human sushi?
so-
I don't know. It's
so
like,
the first year, this is
Bill,
kind
are
of-
you going to eat those humans raw?
the first year, I had no idea how this whole thing worked because I had never done it before.
Right.
So my son and I went to Walmart and I bought this it was a cotton like Santa sweater. It had a belt in the thing.
I'm sure that felt
And-
good when you got in the water.
I put hats on and I got to paddle out. As soon as it gets wet, I go over my hands to paddle, and the
Yeah.
sleeves got like 8 feet long. And it was wet cotton. My son's paddling out. A guy in front of him wipes out, and he has a Santa thing wrapped around his head. Right?
God.
How many
And-
Santas die every year?
So,
Really?
so now we have it down, man. We bought these rash guards that look like Santa's things. We got like red shorts, and we have beards that we wear in the water that are attached to the hat, and the hat's tied underneath your chin.
No.
And it's fun. It's really fun.
It sounds like fun, man. I would love to be able to go and check
It's
it out.
just kind of, it's funny. It starts really early. I mean, you get to the beach at like 7 in the morning, and you're out of there by 11, and it's Christmas Eve day, and it's just like
Yeah.
kind of a fun thing. And my son, for some reason, every year makes it onto the news, and I have
How do you
no
how do
idea.
you how do you get any kind of room on the beach to do anything with
It's
like
everybody's just
1,000,
packed.
12,000
Just
people there?
packed in and drinking and
Yeah.
drinking hot chocolate and
That's so cool,
mimosas,
man. I
and
saw
it's
something
really fun.
similar. I saw something similar on an article the other day where I think it was a marathon and everyone dresses as Santa. And you get thousands of people and they run, dressed in Santa outfits.
Yeah, but this is just something funny about there's just something funny. I'll send Craig a picture of a surfing Santa thing for the little thing for this week.
Oh yeah, we'll make that.
There you go.
It's yeah, it's pretty incredible. So last year they had a picture in the paper taken from a drone,
Right.
and my son goes, "Did you zoom in?" And I go, "No." He goes, "It's you and I in the water."
Nice.
And it is-
Really? I would,
and you
hey,
would
Craig,
never know except we know each other's surfboard.
Craig, if you get that picture, what you got to do is superimpose, like what do you call it? Put a shark behind him chasing him.
So that's it. So I'm really looking forward to that.
And do you have Rudolph? Do you have Rudolph the Red-Nosed surfboard?
No, but you can't believe so many people dress like Elf. Some
Right.
people dress like the Grinch.
Doesn't the salt water ruin whatever outfit you're
Probably.
wearing?
Yeah, probably, but it's I don't know, it's cool. It's just really fun. I remember one year there was such a drift that by the time we got out and we caught a couple of waves, we were about a quarter of a mile down the beach.
Yeah.
And we went to walk back to where we were, and it must have taken my son and I an hour and 15 minutes to walk back, because every 5 minutes someone would go, "Could I have my picture taken with you?"
Now, what's a Christmas tradition that you got? Like in my house, our Christmas tradition was, Dad would give us a good Christmas beating. That was one of the traditions. We'd get a beating. You think? I wish I was joking, but actually, as a Christmas gift, a couple of years, he promised to not beat us. That was his gift to us.
Well, that's generous.
Most people hung mistletoe. He hung you guys.
That's right.
Oh man.
You torture me all year long. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you on Christmas. Come here.
All right. Well,
okay. So, good.
Well, it's interesting how over the past 50, 60 years, how things have changed. I remember this had to be around 1967. I was like 7 years old. Things are so different. We
I
didn't
was
get
smoking
Christmas.
doobies, just so you know.
What was that?
We were all smoking. We were all smoking doobies.
Yeah, but we didn't get our Christmas tree till my dad would buy the Christmas tree and lean it against the house. He wouldn't bring it in and put it in the stand until Christmas Eve,
because you had to get the birds' nests and shit out of it.
I don't know. And the thing is, as a kid, I would see the tree standing there, and then okay, time to go to bed, and I go to bed and try to sleep, which was fucking impossible. But the next morning, when I came down, it was all decorated and lit up, like Santa came and did it.
Now, why do people wait for the last minute though? That's
Well,
what
he did.
I know a lot of people that did that back then.
Yeah.
And, to me, it was like half the fun of trimming the Christmas tree is doing it with the kids.
Yeah.
That happened when I got older.
So excited,
Well, I still believed in Santa. Well, I kind of believed in Santa Claus when I was 7.
You were like 52. Right?
It was like,
no. I still.
He still thinks Santa's coming soon.
I actually had a fling with Santa, but that's another story. No, I mean it's when I was like when you're 7 and 8 years old.
He emptied his sack. Santa.
He came more than once that year.
It was anyway, the night before Christmas, and Santa banged me in the ass. No,
when I was 7 or 8, I that's when your brain starts to. I'm like, wow, Santa has the same handwriting as Mom. That kind of thing starts to happen. And then wait a minute.
Wow, Santa smells like cigars and beer, just like Dad.
Santa also has the same wrapping paper as my parents.
Well, Mike's got a great Santa story.
Oh, you want to hear that?
Yeah, that's a great story.
Story.
This was I don't know how many years ago. It's like maybe 15, at least 15 years ago. But my sister-in-law bought this really, really nice, expensive Santa suit, and so it's like, I don't know. She had this because we used to go for Christmas and everything, and so she asked if I would, play Santa or whatever. So what they did was they went out Christmas Eve. They they went out because they do their thing. They go visit family and all that stuff. And she gave me the keys to the house. So I figured they'd, she'd come home and they'd find Santa there. But I had this great idea. What I did is I crawled up basically into the fireplace.
Oh no!
Just put my head in my hand. Well, when I waited till I heard the car pulling up and I heard the door,
No.
I crawled up. It's 3 in the afternoon.
3 in the afternoon, snorting ashes. Come on, man! I was wasted off of ashes, man. They used oak, so the kids. I hear the kids come running, and I'm got my head and my arms in the fireplace, and I come out, and so they saw Santa coming out of the down the chimney, and for years my nieces and nephews swore that they saw the real Santa, and people go, come on, there's no. They believed, and I mean,
it's so great, man.
Yeah, I mean, they did up until they were like almost adults, because they're not that bright, but
it's funny how with kids, I remember I was like probably at that age where you don't really believe in Santa Claus,
right?
And I went down the stairs. Yeah, like I went
17.
down. I went to the bathroom. As a kid, Christmas Eve night is the worst night of your life.
Oh God, yes.
Like 100 times. You
can't
sleep. Why is it the worst? Because the anticipation.
You're
talking to a Jew, so
you can't sleep. That's why, like, you're 4 years old and you're drinking half a bottle of vodka to go to sleep.
Mom, I'm gonna need another Xanax.
But
Mom.
it's funny. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I looked out into the living room, and I saw red in the mirror. And I swear to God, I thought it was Santa, and I ran back and went to bed, like almost like that. Where I swore for years I saw the real Santa.
Wow. You know what though? Santa, just humor me here for a second. Santa Claus is the biggest. It's just it's such a commercial. Following what I'm saying, it's a commercial thing. It's like, okay, so here you go. Now the parents have to buy their kids all of these presents, right? Now you have to buy presents, and they're from Santa. So the fucking department stores get you twice, because you gotta buy a good present from Santa, because Santa can't be a cheap fuck, right? So you're spending $800 on your kids, then you're spending another $800 from Santa, and you don't even get the credit for that shit.
Yeah, we used to say Santa brings you your favorite gift, and then your mother and father give you the rest.
See, that would piss me off if like the best gift was from Santa, not even from Dad. I don't even get that credit. It's like, Dan, you're the best dad in the world. You got me. No, Santa got it.
Santa gave me a lot of socks. I was always pissed at him. I went, oh, socks? What the hell?
So I remember my friend Bill J, who is a really good attorney, and he has to have the best of everything. So he wanted the best Santa.
Wait, is he better than Jacoby and Myers?
No, he is
not better than Jacoby and Frank.
Edelman, Krasn, and Jay. Anyway, he wanted the best Santa outfit he could get. So a friend of mine who owned the magic store also owned a costume store. So I said, what's the best costume you can get? And this is like probably 30-something years ago. So he goes, there's a Santa outfit that's $450, and you get the upgrade, it's $500. So what would that be now, right?
Yeah,
and he goes, it's got the rabbit ermine fur, and it's velvet, and the beard.
For that much money, you better be able to walk through the fucking North Pole and stay warm.
You better make that thing get off the ground.
He goes, the beard and the hair, I think, are real hair.
Yeah.
So every year we used to have a Christmas party, and it was all the comedians were all baby boomers, and they all had their kids. It was Minervini's kids, and it was John Joseph's kids, and Joey Cola's kids, all people we've had on the show.
Right.
And the name we do not speak of his kids, Peter Bales. And but they were all there,
He
right?
who must not be named.
He's Voldemort.
You would get a present, you put your kid's name on it, you put it in my mailbox, and then he would pull up, grab throw them in a bag. He'd come in. Oh, is there Olivia here? And that would be like Richie's daughter. Is there?
Right.
The kids are freaking out. So he comes in this beautiful Santa costume, right? But you know how like Santa costumes have those like kind of those rubber things that were supposed to look like boots?
Yeah,
galoshes or whatever they are.
Yeah.
So my daughter, Mrs. Observant Writer, sits on his lap and she goes, Santa, how come you got rubber boots? He was so bummed out that day he left. The next day he calls me and goes, Yeah, I just bought a $280 pair of leather Santa boots.
Oh shit!
Wait a minute. Wouldn't Santa actually wear rubber boots? I mean,
No.
rubber.
No,
Of
no.
course he
no.
would. Rubber keeps the
No.
water out.
Well, you know, I was.
Well, if
I was,
Santa wore rubber, there wouldn't be so many elves. I'll tell
I
you
was,
that.
I was,
Whoa, hey.
I was a Santa for 2 years at Disneyland. They hired 12. Back then they hired 12.
What's the matter? You couldn't get goofy?
No, but it's like but the thing is, you want to talk about the most expensive costume. They had different costumes for different parts of the park. Like if you were in the Grand Californian, which is their big hotel, you're in a red velvet Santa costume with like ermine hair. Well, not ermine, but really good fur.
Hey,
And
Craig,
they have
the more important character you play, do you get more money? Is there a pay scale? Like
Santa is the highest paid character in the park back then.
better more than Mickey?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
More than any of the face characters. That's any character at Disneyland who's like in a costume like Cinderella, who actually you actually see their real faces.
Right.
They're paid more than the ones who have than the Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Cinderella.
But
When I worked for Disney Cruise, every guy on the cruise ship wanted to have sex with Cinderella.
Who doesn't, man? Cinderella. Jeez,
I was just saying that the beard, the beard and the hair and the mustache they glue them on were yak hair. And they had to be worth I think it was worth $1,200 to buy it, and they were cleaned every single night.
Yeah, but how uncomfortable that must have been.
Really comfortable.
Really, I thought it'd be uncomfortable.
And when we went to Grand Cal, yak hair, it's beautiful. It's great. It looks fantastic.
Was when our friend Joe Silky was the RB clown, like Ronald McDonald's nationally. They made him a wig out of yak. That's why I was laughing. It was yak.
Yak hair.
I got a sack made of yak.
And
don't talk back.
And we had real boots. We had real boots, but kids were really freaking. They on the last time I was there, they gave me Main Street on Christmas Eve, and I thought that was going to be the best thing in the world. Santa Claus and the big sleigh, Main Street, Disneyland, Christmas Eve. This is like the World Series,
Disneyland. Let me see. I always get this confused. Is that the one in California?
Yeah, Disneyland's California. So I'm sitting there, and these kids come up to me. I'm like, Merry Christmas. And they go, Santa, what are you doing here? It's Christmas in Australia right now. And I'm like, hamana, 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 hamana. I'm magic. What are you going to say? These kids are like 9-year-old kids. But wait a minute. Aren't kids in Australia, they're not getting their presents because you're here.
Yeah, shut up, kid. Get out of here. Go away, kid. You bother me.
So when, it's funny. Maybe that's why my daughter's a writer, because she just notices every little detail that people don't notice.
Her name is Sam Spade Ferrantino.
So a friend of mine, that used to work for a circus.
Mrs. Colombo.
Which is a Jewish holiday, the circus.
He was a tent rigger. And
well, that sounds like
that's a little racist right there, John.
Yeah, come on.
No.
That's terrible. So anyway, I bought this for the kids. I bought this sled and 4 reindeer that you put on your front lawn, and they all light up. They all plug into each other.
It's a sleigh, John. It's a sleigh.
No, it's a sled.
A sled, okay.
So anyway, my buddy comes over, and he sees on my front lawn, and he goes, "Oh, come on, man. That's got to go from the tree to the house." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, it's got to look like it's flying into your house." So I go, "Well, how are we going to do that?" He goes, "I'm a rigger. I know how to do this." So he goes to the store, and we have to go to Home Depot. We have to buy stainless steel cable, turnbuckles, drills. So
people are crazy. $800 I'm going to spend to stand his fucking thing up.
So he runs the cable through it. He's got to drill a hole in the front of it, and he runs the cable through, and then he has to run the wire, wrap it with twist ties, so they all connect.
Did that meet OSHA standards?
Wait, and I have a 2-story house, right? So he's got to go like 40 feet up in this tree, and he puts a turnbuckle into the tree. And then he climbs up to the roof that he has to hang over. And then he's got to drill a hole to run the electric into the room. So we put it up there. And it's like, he is so proud of this. And it looks really cool. It's this huge sled with the reindeer going to the house. And he can't wait for Lindsay to see it, right? Because she's like really little. And it gets dark, and he goes, "Come on, get her." So we go outside, and she looks up, and she goes, "But Rudolph doesn't have a red nose." And I say, well, Rudolph doesn't always have his nose blinking red. It's only when there's
That's
bad
right.
snowstorms.
That's right.
And that's why, so they can see the sled. She goes, "Oh, okay." And she goes, "Oh, it's so cool to have that going into the house." And she walks in the house. My friend goes, "Take it down." He climbs up and takes the whole thing down. Then we got to go back to Home Depot.
Why don't you just get a fucking ladder and
buy
paint
a
his
light
nose
socket.
red?
A light socket and a blinking red nose.
No
He,
way.
had he did the whole thing all over again, and then wired up the nose so it blinked. And he put it. He goes, "Now go get her the next night." And she goes, "Oh, it's perfect." And he was like, she goes, "Yeah, see, it's for kids. It's for kids."
Jesus, man.
By the way, have you ever seen have you watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the specials since you were?
We're not gonna let him play in any reindeer games. How many were those cocksuckers?
Santa Claus in that show, Santa Claus is the biggest a-hole.
No, what about the coach? The fucking was training the reindeer. We're not gonna let him play in any reindeer game. You motherfucker! I would have fucking cut him with a knife if I was fucking rude. I would have been like, "Motherfucker!
Yeah,
what do you mean
common.
you're not gonna let me play in any reindeer games?"
Christmas album. Santa was an a-hole.
I like when Comet sees the nose for the first time. That yell he gives it.
That's why I'm glad he got. That's why I'm glad he got run over by a reindeer. Santa got run over by fuck you, Santa.
Santa's a dick, man. And they know that like the elves sing for him, and he's like, it sucks. I'm like, what? Santa, what's going on?
Did you guys ever do this? One year, I went up, like we had when I lived in Seaford, we had like an unfinished attic. Right. So it was freezing up there.
So he was always half high. He was unfinished.
It was unfinished, and it was like a catwalk thing that went across.
On the couch.
There wasn't flooring up there or anything.
Right, that's on my roof.
So we go there one year. I go up in there to get something, and I look, and there's all my Christmas presents.
Oh, shit.
And all my daughter and all my sister's Christmas presents. So
the Santa illusion was smashed.
Were they wrapped? Were they wrapped or
no?
Oh, that sucks.
So we looked at everything. We went up there. We looked at everything. Oh yeah, I'm getting the race car set I want. Oh, I can't wait. And then we were so surprised on Christmas morning that my mother knew that we saw it all. And it was just, it was really shitty. It was really shitty.
Yeah, it was. It was, man.
Our own fault.
How did she know? How did she know that you saw it all?
By
your reactions.
Because you're a parent.
Happy birthday! Remember Frosty? Happy
birthday!
You're a parent. You know when your kids like make them believe they're excited when they're really excited.
Well, my nephew Ben 1 year.
Maybe Chris went. Maybe when all. Craig, where all the presents were wrapped, and I went, "Which one's the race car set?" Maybe.
Well, I wanted to my nephew Ben. My nephew Ben, he was 8 years old. Now he had Christmas with his mother and his family in Patchogue, and then they knew when they came to Grandma's house where I was with my mom that's where they got the big present. And my mother had like 10 presents for Ben, and every present he opened, Atari! Oh no, opened another one, Atari! And after the third or fourth present, my mother's like, "So somebody told you that you're getting Atari, didn't?" And of course, the last present he opened was the Atari. But every present he opened, oh no, it's just underwear. Atari. Oh no, it's just a ruler. It was. Well, so yeah.
Well, every year, like I said, at least there was one. And you guys know I'm freaking Jewish, but I used to love Christmas, and because it was like. It basically was the only.
Let's back up the statement.
You used to?
I'm pretty Jewish.
No, I said you guys know. I said you guys. Well, no,
you go. As you guys know, I'm pretty Jewish.
No, actually, if we were going to go by that standard, I'm only kind of Jewish because I don't do nothing Jewish.
I'm 11% Jewish. I'm kind of Jewish.
You're probably more Jewish than I am because actually I've been baptized. But anyway, that's totally besides the point. Oh yeah, I've been on like a spiritual journey. I've tried everything there is, but I got baptized about 15 years ago. But anyway, not the point.
With vodka.
Yeah, I bet you did. I got freaking sloshed out like a pickle with that shit. But Now I lost what I would my train
So
of
you're
thought.
saying that you were
You're
Oh,
sort of
that I
Jewish.
love
You're
that I
sort
love
of
Christmas
Jewish.
and the we used to have this me and my mother actually we would watch every year. I had to watch the cartoon of the Grinch.
You're a mean one.
But Mr.
Oh,
Grinch.
God, please stop saying that. But that's all my grandson does.
I know, but I love to this day I get like I watch the Grinch and I get and my brother always goes, yeah, it's a good cartoon until he turns into a pussy at the end. He fucking gives the present. My brother, the very kind, sensitive, loving soul that he is, turns into such a pussy at the end. He's got to give this shit back. He goes, fuck, I would have dumped it over the fucking side of the mountain.
I always felt bad for the dog, Max. I always felt
Max.
bad for the dog. I always did. But here's a trivia question. Do you know who did the voice
Stink,
of
stink,
Grinch?
stunk.
It
That's
was
my favorite part of the
what's his
song.
name? Boris Karloff.
No, that was the
No,
voice.
that
of
was the narrator. Who did the voice of the Grinch? I don't.
I know his name is Thurl. I don't know the last name, but he's the same voice as Tony the Tiger.
Well, that's
Same guy.
great. Even though I'm not, Catholic or whatever, I still love the cartoons. There's a million of them. Mickey Rooney,
Mickey Rooney?
Christmas. No, well, yeah, he was in one of the cartoons.
You're right. He was.
He played Santa. It was with the year with no, it was the one when Santa
coming
first.
to town.
Which is the one with the Burgermeister, Meisterburger.
Santa's coming to town.
Then that was Mickey Rooney played Chris Kringle in that. That was
Oh, I didn't know that was.
Who was the comedian that played Frosty?
that was Jackie Leonard, wasn't it? Jackie Leonard or Jackie
No,
Vernon?
Jackie Vernon.
I knew it was one of the
Jackie
Jackies.
Vernon.
Jackie
Happy
Vernon.
birthday!
Happy birthday!
He had the greatest joke of all times, man. When he every time there was a D. Martin roast, he did the same joke, and every time he'd get up, you would hear Don Rickles go, "Here it comes!" Right? And the joke was, he goes, "So I was working in Vegas." He goes, and I came home kind of late, and my wife, who from this point in the story will affectionately call the Beast,
The Beast.
and I got home and she said, "I'd like a sandwich." I was like, "Everything's closed," and she goes, "Go fetch me one."
Oh,
Fetch me one.
He goes, "So I'm walking down the street and I run into a lady of the night, a hooker.
Oh, hooker.
She says, 'Would you like to go out?' And I was feeling kind of whimsical."
Whimsical.
That's my favorite line.
Whimsical.
So you know the joke. Anyway, so she says, "How much?" And I go, 50. She goes, "Not enough." I go, 75. She goes, "No." I go, 100. And she goes, "No." And she walks her way and I go that way. The next day, I'm leaving Vegas and my wife's getting in the car. And who do I run into but that hooker? She looks at me, she looks at my wife and says, "See what you get for $50?
Oh.
No. You know what I like? One of his jokes was he goes on stage and he's wearing a jacket and he goes, "Hey, do you like this jacket?" "Yeah, my wife gave it to me. I found it the other day. I came home early from work and there it was hanging on the chair."
Well, how about
I
when
love when he had the little clicker and he did
the
the
clicker and just
Oh,
the clicker with just a flash like a circle on the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used
But
to
what
love
are-
that.
What are the movies though? What are the movies that you have to watch at Christmas?
I have to watch Christmas Vacation. To me,
Really?
that's the best.
Really?
Christmas
That's your
Vacation
thing?
is the best Christmas movie ever made.
No,
It is
sorry.
it is.
Gotta
It is.
disagree.
It is the
Maybe the
funniest
best Christmas comedy.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is the best Christmas comedy.
maybe the best Christmas comedy, yes. Which I'd have to actually think about it, but I'll give you that. But not the best Christmas movie.
That'd be
A Christmas-
RV,
a Christmas
Clark.
Story.
That'd be an RV.
A Christmas Story is I watch it multiple times because TBS or TNT play it for 24 hours, and
Good
I gotta
one, too.
watch.
Well, there's the one that I have to see, and I watch 5
Virgins.
versions of Scrooge or Christmas Carol every year. I watch 5 or 6, but my favorite one is the one with Alistair Sim.
Oh, the original, isn't it?
Well, no, actually, the originals was like in 1915 or 19.
I'm talking about the first one with sound, Mike. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that on my birthday when I was 18.
Well, I have to see A Christmas Story, and on Christmas Eve, if I'm home, last year I wasn't, but this year I will be, I have to watch It's a Wonderful Life. I have to.
It's a Wonderful Life, definitely. I just watched it the other day, Love Actually, which is a great Christmas movie.
Good Christmas movie. Yep.
You
Yep.
have to seriously though, what we were talking about that Four Christmases, you
Right.
got to see the Christmas
God.
play in that. It is
That had me
It is-
roaring.
that is yeah. I forgot about that.
That and the satellite dish had me laughing.
Yeah, the satellite dish and the AMA fighters.
But
Oh,
here's
God.
here's
John
my
Favreau
question.
was so buff in that movie. It's only 15 years ago, man.
Oh, when his brothers were MMA fighters,
Damn.
right?
And and that was Tim McGraw.
Right.
It was Tim McGraw.
They just
I
grab him. And Vince Vaughn is so tall.
Well, if you remember, you're talking about what's his name, John Favreau. He played. Remember the football movie with Keanu Reeves, the Replacements.
Yeah, the
He
Replacements.
played a crazy football player, so he was in good shape at some point. Yeah, but my thing was, it's like I love Scrooge. I love the Christmas Carol. I've seen it, God knows how many times. But here's my question: it's like, so you bring this Scrooge, this nasty, unhappy, miserable bastard. You take him back in his life and you show him how he became such a miserable fuck. His mother dies in childbirth. His father's a piece of shit, abandons him, leaves him. All of this negative, bad shit that happens to him. And you come back and you tell him, why aren't you a happy guy? It's like they take him back in his life and show him why he's such a miserable fuck. And if I was him, I would be a miserable bastard too, And then it's like, no, I just don't get it. I don't get why they think that he
if somebody named me Ebenezer, I'd be pissed off too.
But the point is like, why would you think he'd be anything but a fucking dirtbag? You know what
He's
I'm
also
saying?
a miser, and he wasn't loved. He needed love, and he opened himself up to love, and look what happened.
The world banged him in the ass, and he was just banging back. That's
He gets the bell for that.
I get the bell.
Okay. So let me share. I have a
go ahead.
story I want to share because Mike and I share an experience. We both went to
It
Broadway.
never happened, Craig. I've never been that drunk.
Mike, you don't remember it. No, we both went to Broadway at different times, I think, and we saw Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
I think it was like 96, 95. He did
Probably.
He did a one-man show on Broadway for the whole month of like November and December, where he played Scrooge and he played all the characters. All he had was a table and a chair on stage.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Now I'm watching that. Now I went with my partner George, right? And what the thing about George is he was undiagnosed at the time with sleep apnea. So we're watching it. And and I noticed George is kind of dozing. I keep elbowing him. We're in the back row of the theater, and right at the end of the first act, Patrick Stewart is laying on top of the table, which is like a bed, and he's going to sleep before the ghosts come to visit him. And he gets very, very quiet as he's going. He's mumbling to himself, "Well, Ebenezer, you're going to go. No. Just go to sleep." And then it gets really quiet right before the first act ends. And George next to me does this. Every head in the friggin' theater turn and look at us.
Did you make a noise? Because it didn't read on the thing. I didn't hear the sound.
It was a gigantic snore. Like, but like 144 decibels, right?
Right.
Every head turns and looks at us, and I'm looking at Patrick Stewart on that table. He fucking heard that.
Oh fuck! If he had his phaser, you'd have been fucking on stun, man. It would have been on fucking stun.
Man, I was so friggin' embarrassed. It wasn't George's fault. I mean, he was struggling with a condition, but at exactly the wrong time.
See, and I had a great experience with that. I enjoyed it, and afterwards went outside and used my powers that be, because everyone waits for Patrick Stewart to come out, and you got this crowd of people, and it's New York, and it's cold, and they're all there, and it's like he comes out, and we're way thick in the crowd. I just did a Trump, and I just pushed everyone out of the way and went right up and handed him the fucking playbill. He signed it for my girlfriend. I was like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna fucking not get the autograph because these greedy bastards are in my way.
Did he say anything, or he just signed it?
No, he didn't see me pushing everyone out of the way.
No, I mean, did he say anything to you like, "Oh, I hope you enjoyed it"?
I have to look up.
Not that I remember.
Stewart. I
No,
don't know who that is.
You don't know he's Captain
you don't know
Picard in
Patrick
Star Trek: The
Stewart
Next
is.
Generation.
Come on, man.
Oh, then of course I would know.
Okay, well then he's Professor X in the X-Men.
Wait, John, this will tell you who he is. Ready? Engage.
Engage. Number one, engage.
That's
Number one. Number
that's
one. I have to go number two. Engage. No,
he's in the X-Men movies. If you watch the X-Men movies,
he's Professor X in the X-Men movies.
This is Professor Brainiac, man.
Not Brainiac, but Xavier.
Oh,
Try
I know who he is.
Xavier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely know who he is.
Yeah, it's
So-
Patrick Stewart, man.
Yeah.
So I took your whatever, and I watched that another. I guess you would call it a Christmas movie. Was it called The Holdovers, right?
Yeah, it takes place at
Did
Christmas.
you send that link to us? I didn't get it.
No, I watched it on
I didn't do it.
on my Amazon thing.
I don't want to be accused of like sharing copyright infringement.
It
Especially
never
if we
happened.
Talk about it on air.
Here we are right now. Oh, here's a question. I hope you guys have both seen this movie. We can actually debate this about.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Uh,
That's
A lot of
well,
people feel it is.
well, it's a
That's
comedy.
the
I
big
mean,
debate.
Die
That's a
Hard's a
big
comedy?
yeah, come on, man. These people are getting killed and whack. I mean, you know what? I haven't seen it in a long
It's a
time.
comedy
but
for you.
comedy
It's
for
a
me.
murder spree and Mike's laughing his ass.
I honestly don't understand why anyone thinks it is a Christmas movie. It's only because it
Christmas
happens at
Eve.
Christmas time. Yeah, but that doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Now, so if I get laid on Christmas Eve, does that mean that's a Christmas, whatever? It's like,
Yes,
something-
yes, it does actually. It's a Christmas miracle.
I had the ultimate.
it would be a fucking miracle.
How much time do we have left?
We got
We
time.
have about 15, 20 minutes. Why?
Okay.
You
John's
Yeah,
going to
but-
tell the story of the nativity right now and how they couldn't find no room at the inn.
Have
when
ever
you tell the
seen-
story,
have
I'm
you
gonna. I wish George was here so he can fall asleep. So
Have you ever? Did you meet him in the park with George?
Meet him in the park.
actually, I don't want to tell you. I met him in a bar called Blanche.
You know, that's a play. That's a gay play.
What is
In the park with George.
in the park?
What?
Never even heard of it.
Saturday in the park with George,
Never
Yeah.
heard of it.
or is it Sunday in the park with George?
Sunday in the park with George.
Yeah. It's not. What do you mean it's a
Um,
gay play?
It's about a gay couple.
I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
I don't know. I met
Sure
George
did.
at a bar called Blanche. That's it.
Well, how many? We're talking about plays. How many? I mean, how many? What was the first play you ever went to go see, or Broadway quality play?
Oh shit! I know that one.
That's a tough one. I can't remember.
Girls, and then after that, I went to see the Magic Show. I saw 2 shows in one day with
With Doug Henning.
Wow. See, I remember
My-
I got the I saw, and this was pretty cool. I saw the King and I with Yul Brynner on Broadway.
Right.
I
Wow.
saw Zorba with Anthony Quinn
Wow.
on Broadway, but
Some
it's only
legendary
'cause
shit.
it's only and it's just through the charity of a neighbor. I had my buddy's dad was looked like Santa. He was this big jolly guy, great guy, and and he, like I said, my parents were my father wouldn't spend a fucking dollar if he was that guy. He was a cheap bastard, cheap Jew. Anyway, so Chuck, man, he would go do all this stuff, and he said, my buddy Chris, he said, why don't you bring your friend Mike? And so I got to do this really cool stuff, man. So Zorba, like I said, and it was just amazing. It was amazing.
You know what I saw? My first, well, it wasn't Broadway. It was at Lincoln Center, but it was a Broadway style production. It was great with Herschel Bernardi. I saw the Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof, man. Wow, just a classic.
Oh, so good.
I love the
My
original with
favorite
Zero
show-
Mostel,
my
the
favorite
movie.
show-
I love the score.
Not
my
Zero
favorite show
Mostel. It was
ever.
Yeah, Gio
Opal.
Mostel did it originally.
No, it was
The movie? Topol.
Opal. Yeah.
I saw Les Mis with the original cast on Broadway.
Nice.
Is there like nudity in that?
No. I
No?
saw Les Mis in London on the West End.
What is Les Mis about? I have no clue.
It's about the French Revolution.
It's the funniest thing ever, which my daughter brought. Of course, my daughter, anytime you go to a play with my daughter as a playwright, she finds a way of ruining it. Meanwhile, it's like, so it takes place, it's about the French Revolution.
Right.
They all have English accents.
That's typical.
That's because the
She
French
said
lost,
to me
right?
halfway through, she goes,
The French lost.
"Why we're in France right now? How come everyone has an English accent?" And I go, "I don't know."
Lindsay,
do
it's
know.
called
I
it's
do
called
know.
the suspension of disbelief.
Well, going back to Patrick Stewart, he was Jean-Luc Picard, from France, and he had an English accent. So it seems to be a trait.
Well, okay, here's the question. It's like about the French. Why are they singing and dancing?
Well, it's
It's
like
right.
because they saw the guys in West Side Story.
There you go. You're never alone. You never
I
disconnect.
saw that on Broadway too. That was really good.
That was. I love
saw
West
it.
Side Story, man.
I saw what else did I see? Where Oh,
I
I saw
played-
Grease on Broadway.
I played
Really?
it. I was in a
Tony
play from West Side
Rydell.
Story.
Tony
Yeah.
Rydell. Tony Rydell played Teen Angel. Which
Wow.
was
Oh my God.
cool. That was
I
kinda
played I was in a play it was a camp play, summer camp play of West Side Story where I played Doc,
Oh.
the candy store owner.
Oh, I thought you would have been Officer Krupke.
That would have been cool, but no, I got to be Doc, the candy store.
The best musical, I mean, Fiddle on the Roof is great, but I the one I enjoyed the most was I saw the revival of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. It was right after what's his face left. What's his name? He was in the Birdcage with Robin Williams.
Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane.
It was right after he left. Whoopi Goldberg was playing the lead.
Whoopi Goldberg.
It was great. It was a
She
great.
doesn't even look Jewish. Goldberg. She doesn't look
boy,
Jewish
no,
at all.
No,
best-
she's not.
the best
Are you
one-man
guys hearing that? Are you
show,
guys hearing
best
that noise in the background? Because
What?
that's me. That's whatever. If you can't hear it, that's great.
We don't hear it, but now we're going to be conscious of it.
All right.
The best best one-man show I ever saw. I saw Lily Tomlin do her one-woman show.
Oh, you saw her show.
It was amazing. It
Wow.
was
You know what
absolutely amazing.
you want to know what the best one person show I saw was? Actually, it was Colin Quinn. And it was called Sanctifying Grace. I loved it. It was incredible.
I have that on DVD.
You do?
Mhm.
Wow.
I bought it for $1 at the dollar store.
No, that's not good.
That's so funny. I was in a thrift store the other day and I saw a CD of Bobby Collins. There was a whole bunch, and I was going to buy it, and it was actually had his autograph on it, but there was no DVD, no CD in it.
Wow.
I should have bought it
No.
anyway, but
I saw a play that I used to go into the city a lot. I saw a play with Robert De Niro and Ralph Macchio called
Really?
Cuba and the Teddy Bear,
Oh my God, I remember that.
and Burt Young was in it, and it was pretty amazing. But let's get back to this Christmas thing, because I have a beautiful Christmas story to tell you.
But yeah, but you guys you never. Okay, go ahead.
hold on, John.
Yeah,
I'm going to put my chestnuts on the fire and listen to your story
Well, you just abandoned the Die Hard thing. I guess you guys don't want to debate that, but that's okay.
because
Well,
it's not a
I
Christmas
saw it
movie.
so long ago. I know that it comes up all the time. Is it
It's a
Christmas
joke.
movie?
It's not a debate. It's not a
It
Christmas
just happens
movie.
at Christmas.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know what? I actually watch it on Christmas now because it kind of fits.
What fits what?
Well, it's not officially Christmas until Hans Gruber falls off the tower.
Nah.
Well,
I mean, it's
I feel the same way about King Kong.
there
King
you
Kong,
go.
that's Thanksgiving.
It's a Christmas movie.
When
King
King
Kong.
Kong falls off the top,
I hear some
and
kind
he
of
looks
music
at him
in
and
the back.
says,
Yeah, that's the
"It wasn't the airplanes; it was Beauty that killed the beast." Then it's
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
All right, so let's
John,
let's hear your story, John.
My chestnuts are roasting on the fire. Let's hear your beautiful story. I'm going to turn my mic off so
Your
that
chestnuts are
sound doesn't-
roasting. It's such a waste.
Yes.
Okay, so as you can tell from the first story, I like to decorate for Christmas. It's my favorite holiday in the world.
And they call me
out-
gay. Thank
I
you.
go out all Italian. I have the little village with the 100 little houses. I got little guys. I have sidewalks. I have ice skating rings.
Oh,
I have
geez.
I'm like nuts. I'm like nuts.
Craig, is there any room in the gay closet for John?
No, he gets rejected.
So,
He's
anyway.
too butch.
So I do the whole outside with lights and the whole bit, and the Santa has to go up to the top of the house every year. And like now I have to do it, which scares the crap out of me.
I bet.
So I was in Abercrombie and Fitch. So this is in the city, and this is before they had those inflatable lawn ornaments. You know what I mean? They just didn't have those. So I found a 8 or 9 foot inflatable Santa that you had to blow up by mouth or with a pump,
Oh, geez.
right?
God.
And the next year I went back and they had a reindeer that was 5 foot, a Rudolph with a red nose. So, since this thing is so big, you got to put it up some way, right? So I had to tie it to a tree in the front of my house. And since I had a sailboat, I had this red rope. So I figured, well, that's cool. I'll wrap it around his waist, tie him down. I had some brown rope for the reindeer, tied his body to the
beautiful.
tree.
Sounds
So when you
beautiful.
pull up, you see Santa in the woods, and you see the thing coming up to the tree.
Sounds like a B&D Christmas.
And so anyway, I'm working at Eastside with Richie Minervini, and my wife calls and says, "Listen, You need to get home. Santa looks like he was shot in the head. He looks like a hostage. He's tied around the waist and he's slumped over. So
Leave the gun, take the cannolis.
Picture what it would be like if you had an inflatable Santa tied around the waist and then lost 25% of the air. It's just like hanging over the tree, right?
Santa got whacked.
It looks bad.
Italian. Well, you said it was Italian, so Santa must have done something.
Santa was being waterboarded.
Santa got whacked.
So, I was with Silky, right? So Silky goes, what happened was I had inflated it, and then it got really cold that night.
And the
air contracted and he looked like he died. So Silky goes, I'll go home with you and I'll help you, right? So we drive back from Eastside, which is like a 3-minute drive from my house. We get there and Santa's gone and the reindeer's gone.
They're gone.
Gone.
Just
they were rescued.
The rope is there.
He got whacked, and then somebody stuffed him in a rug.
The line for my boat probably cost more than the Santa, so I was really happy that was still there. So Joe says to me, I'm sure Margie brought it in the house because it was probably disturbing if anybody drove by and saw dead Santa.
Dead Santa.
Dead Santa.
So we go in the house, and Margie's all happy that Joe comes over, and it should be like hot chocolate or something. So we go, so where's the Santa? And she goes, what are you talking about? It's on the front lawn. And I go, no, it's not. And she goes, yeah, it is. I go, no. We open up the door and it's gone.
Santa's gone.
She goes, holy shit. So first we think she's screwing with us, like you're hiding it, blah, blah, blah. You're going to come out of it. Now here he is, And she goes, no, I swear to God, I didn't do it. So we got to call the police. So we call the police.
Calling the cops for a dead Santa.
So we call the police. It's Huntington. It's not like real police. So
John can never go to Huntington again now.
I just want the Huntington police to know that was not me. That was not Mike Grief. That was John Ferrantino.
I lived in Huntington Station. I'm also with Mike.
I totally believe you guys are real cops.
So anyway, they show up. The cops. They pull up.
The fake cops.
And it's this big Irish guy and this little Italian guy that looks like Manfrotati. In a leather jacket.
So it's like the Home Alone cops. It's like Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
No, the wet bandits show up.
The wet bandits show up
and goes. Yeah, it's almost like you have to see this. He takes out a little pad. He takes out a pencil. He licks the end of the thing. Right? He goes, all right, what's going on here? And we go, they stole some robbery. Writes it down. He goes, what did they steal? I go, Santa. He goes, height. I go 8 foot. He goes, red suit, white beard.
Oh, come on.
I swear to God. He writes, white suit, red beard.
Right.
He goes,
white suit, red beard?
He goes, red suit,
white beard.
He goes, hat. Yeah. And he goes, black belt. And he goes,
of course.
He goes, any other
he's a green belt. He takes
characteristics. And Silky goes, yes. When he laughed, his belly shook like a bowl full of jelly. The cop goes like this. The cop goes, belly jelly. Okay.
Belly jelly.
Shit.
He goes, anything else? I go, and they stole Rudolph.
The
little Italian guy goes, son of a bitch.
like it wasn't so bad if they just took Santa, but fucking they got Rudolph. Motherfuckers.
Every answer we're giving this cop, the little guy's getting more pissed off.
That's fucking great.
He's getting more pissed off. So we get all done, and he's going, so the cop goes, look, he goes, this is fun and everything. And, I'm going to give you this police report. You can probably hang it on your tree.
Right.
And he says, but you're not going to get it back. He goes, let me tell you what happens. He goes, these guys drive around and they come home from college. They have a couple of beers. They got in a pickup truck. They drive around. They steal what they think is cool. Then he goes, we had a wreath that was a 7-foot wreath strung between two chimneys with a wire, and they got up and stole that.
Oh,
He goes,
jeez.
and then they drive to someone's house who's probably not even in town, and they decorate his whole house. So when he gets up in the next morning,
Wow, so that's like that's like those little sweet and sour gummies, right? First they're scumbags, then they're nice. They steal and then they decorate somebody else's house.
And he goes, it's usually somebody that doesn't want their house decorated or whatever. He goes, I'm just being honest with you. He goes,
Right.
however, you don't see a lot of these big inflatable Santas. If we see it, there is a chance you might get it back, but I don't think so.
Right.
So I go, okay, and he hands me the police report. He shakes my hand, and he shakes Silky's hand. And he thought Silky was really funny. He loved the belly full of jelly.
Yeah.
So he goes,
He's still Rudolph. Son of a bitch.
It just dawned on me. Like, my kids are going to be devastated when they wake up. They love that Santa and that rain. So I just go like this, and I spoke out loud. I go, who would do something like this?
Mm.
The little guy pushes the big guy aside and goes, who fucking scumbags will do this? Have a fucking Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry
Walks out the door.
Scumbags. That's who would do it.
Merry
Scumbags.
scumbag Christmas.
He goes, have a fucking nice Christmas.
Well, you know what you could have told the kids? You could have told the kids like what in remember the Grinch. Oh, there was some light that didn't work on the Santa, so he had to take him back to the North Pole to get it fixed.
Yeah, exactly. How long ago was that, John?
Scumbags. Scumbags. That's who
What?
does that. Scumbags.
How long ago was that?
Oh, my
Last
kids
year.
were little, so it's
Last
got
year.
25. Margie still has the police report hanging.
I'm
on
not
her
going to say
every
nothing
day.
here, John, but a lot of times when you're talking about, going to hang out with Margie, Joe's with you a lot. Are we sure there was nothing going on between Silky and Margie there? You know what I'm saying? Because he was there a lot.
It was
I
there
don't
a
know.
lot.
We hear things.
We hear things.
We hear
What,
things.
what came between you and her? Was it
Joe
Joe?
Silky. It was Silky.
Because Joe's very quiet. Anyone who doesn't know Joe Silky's very quiet.
That's his name, but he's also smooth
But
as
it's
silk. If you
It's
know what I mean.
always the quiet guy that
Smooth as silk.
stabs you in the back.
Slides in there.
Joe
You,
Silky.
But
you
no,
guys ever
so it's
see-
25. Now when I drive around Los Angeles, I see so many. There's like every house has inflatables, and now they're like 15, 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they're lit from the inside.
Dude, on Halloween, I saw that what must have been a 25-foot Frankenstein
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
this guy's line. I mean, it was
Yeah.
huge. It was taller than his house. It was, and then there was two skeletons that were also maybe 20, 25 feet.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Outside a car dealership in Calabasas? I forget where it was. There was a 45-foot inflatable Santa. It was like a Macy's Parade Santa. He was all strapped down. Now that they should try to steal. That
Nah,
was
you
impressive.
know what we're doing? I used to go and decorate, used to hang lights outside, you know what? Now I bought those things that we'll say my wife bought. They just project lights onto the house. It's so much easier.
Yeah, it is. But isn't it kind of
No, Craig, it's beautiful. It's the best. You can't get better than that. Okay, now shut the fuck up.
I like the classic big bulbs on the outside. I
Are
like
you getting your fat ass up on the roof to do it?
fuck no.
I put the lights up. Listen to this. So last year, I bought all these hooks to put along the gutter,
Right.
and they went up there with that 3M tape. So I'm like, this year it'll be a breeze. Every time I went to put a light on the hook,
It fell
snapped
off. Yeah. That's
No,
what
it
they
didn't
tell you.
fall
Oh,
off.
this is good for
The
10 years.
actual hook snapped off.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The
man.
3M adhesive's up there forever. I had to take a
Yeah,
lot.
no, I did the same thing. I had nails up on end so I could just hang the lights on it. But still, you got to get on a ladder, or I had a stick. But you know what, man? I'm too old and too fat to get on a ladder.
I'm in an apartment, so I don't have to do it. I just
Have
decorate.
you guys
the
ever
inside.
seen that Saturday Night Live bit, The Three Wise Guys? It's
No.
De Niro, John Goodman, and Goodman's
Pesci? No.
Norm from Cheers.
No.
Are we talking the football?
Oh,
I remember the
and,
football
Schwarzenegger.
guys.
And
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
The last
And
guy.
the three of them are riding camels. And you just see the heads of the camels going up, right? So,
Merry Christmas,
all of a sudden-
everybody.
so John Goodman goes to dinner. So when we get to Bethlehem to see this kid, it's called the Three Wise Guys.
Yeah, the three wise
When we
guys.
get to Bethlehem to see this kid, he's gonna be like an actual kid walking around or like a loaf of bread, right?
Loaf of bread. What
De
the
Niro
fuck?
goes,
Ah,
A
Here
loaf
it
of
goes.
bread.
De Niro goes, he was just born. What do you think he'd be walking around? He'll be like a loaf of bread. He goes, oh, okay. And it's just all three of them trying not to laugh, right? Which is the best part.
Right.
And Schwarzenegger goes, he goes, how do you know we're going to find a place to stay when we get to Bethlehem? De Niro goes, hey, it's a small town. I bought up every room in every hotel.
Oh, funny.
So then, and then De Niro goes, I tell you one thing, though. I hear this may not be his kid. And they all go, oh. And then John Goodman goes, yeah, that's not right. You can't say that. I know his dad, Joseph, carpenter, good with his hands. And the conversation goes on like this. And he goes, what'd you bring, a little loaf of bread?
I got him some myrrh.
So funny. And
Myrrh.
Goodman goes, I brought gold. He goes, oh, gold. And he goes, I brought incense. He goes, oh, incense is good.
Well,
There
frankincense.
Frankincense. Deer goes, I bought cash.
I bought
Everyone
cash.
loves cash.
Well, you guys,
Cash
let
is
me
always
ask you,
good.
what is frankincense anyway? What is it? Is it like
It's what
a
they use when somebody dies to get rid of the smell of the body.
Really? Mike should know
Wow.
that. Mike should know that.
no? Because I buried a body. You don't have to. There's no smell.
okay.
The body's
All right.
gone. You put
Replaces
some.
the lie.
You put some lye on there, and you freaking bury him down
No,
deep.
seriously. Back then, they would use. They didn't embalm, so
Right.
they would have. This is how do we get from beautiful?
I don't
Christmas
know.
Story to
Now we're
embalm?
murdering people.
However,
Hey, I'll do my Christmas poem for you. Want to hear my Christmas poem?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have about 3 minutes, so let's
All right.
see the
Let's
poem.
end it with a beautiful Christmas.
There you go.
All right, Mike is going to.
Hold on. Let me clear my throat.
Can I sing Silent Night in the background?
There you go. Yes.
Silent
It was the night before Christmas, and there on my couch, Santa's dead, mutilated body was strewn through my house. His head was laying by my chimney there, and a trickle of blood ran down from his hair. You see, I'd taken his goodies in his wallet and gold chains, and then hacked to pieces Santa's mortal remains. If he wanted to live, then good old Saint Nick shouldn't have looked in my window when I was playing with my dick.
Oh, no.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Nice. Nice.
That is so beautiful.
Very
Thank you.
sweet. I got a tear in my eye.
Oh, my God.
So do I. That means you killed
I
somebody
can't
in
even believe I
person.
couldn't even. Now I got to listen to the show because I couldn't even hear because I just sing Silent Night.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks before Christmas, or a little bit. A little bit more than 2 weeks. So I'm sure we can think.
Well, it's actually
about it
Hanukkah.
again.
It's a Hanukkah now.
It's Hanukkah.
What
Hanukkah.
show airs tomorrow?
What airs shows?
This show airs tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, actually, this show airs now today.
Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday.
Anyway, you know what? Yeah, it's just so unfair. There's no big Hanukkah things. It's all Christmas. Nobody sings. It's beginning to look a lot like Hanukkah. Each and nothing. We get
In
nothing.
school, and when we used to sing in chorus, there was one Hanukkah song every year. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. Oh,
And then all my friends used to say, "Oh, come on, man! You get like 8 presents. You're supposed to get a present every night." It's like, no, okay. Obviously, you don't know about Jews.
yeah, but one night it's a book of matches. and next night it's-
that's it. One night I get to shine my dad's shoes. Okay, that's your present for this night.
Get out your
So
shine.
it was easy to shine
Get out
them
your
because
shine
they were a
box.
size too small.
That's it. That's
All
it. He wore his shoes so sizes too small because he liked the way it felt when he took them off.
Take us home there, John. Take us home.
Well, hey guys, enjoy your week, and don't forget to watch our last podcast with Ray Romano.
Yeah. We can't do that. Sorry.
It's trending everywhere, and
Yes.
we are on the podcast playground, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, every place you get your podcasts.
I like the way they say
Holy
that.
cow.
Everywhere you pod. I like that.
Everywhere you pod.
Yeah.
All
Everywhere
right.
you pod. What are we,
Go
whales?
enjoy the podcast and don't get caught tubing.
And watch Die Hard. It's the Christmas season. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Don't get caught tubing.